Well, they definitely have a lot of different phrases that they use that are hard to get used to. I know that instead of saying "how you doing" a lot, they go down the road and say "how you going," and people sometimes it throw you off a little bit. You're not sure what they're asking. They say heaps when they want to say a lot. So say I just had heaps of food today, so I'm full. They call the trunk of a car a boot. They call a hood a bonnet. Instead of windshield, it's windscreen. So there's just a few things like that that you have to be aware of, be ready for, but usually you can catch on pretty quick because the way they say it makes sense. You can kind of get a feel for what they're trying to say. I don't know, it's just the how you going part that they would always say. I mean, if I felt like it was hard for you to get a response if you'd say, "Hey, how are you?" in American accent, or "How are you doing?" on the street, but if you'd say, "Hey, how you going?" or even how you going, mate, right? They would answer usually. It was just kind of what they're used to. And so there's some people that live out in the bush that have a little bit of a stronger accent. So, I mean, it's kind of like here. We got people that live more in the cities and then people that live out in the country that kind of have different language. It's just more of a strong accent, I would say. Eventually, you can understand everyone, but I mean, there's times where there's a lot of misunderstandings. I know that a lot of the times for mealtime, they call it tea time, which is kind of random. We're not having tea or anything, but it's just kind of what they do. I remember in a sacrament meeting once, the stake patriarch, and this was in my first area, so I was new, but he got up and he said, "I had the missionaries over for tea last week. It was nice." And I remember sitting there in the audience and I was thinking, no, I didn't go to his house for tea, I promise, just believe me. But obviously everyone knew what he was talking about except for me, so. Yeah, chances are most of the people that you talk to in Australia, most of the people you end up teaching and baptizing would be from another country. But generally speaking, their English is okay, enough to get by. It's kind of, you want to be prepared to teach kind of at like a child's level so that you can, just so they can understand simple English. I think I lost my speaking skills for English on my mission a little bit, came back and I was speaking a little bit. It felt like I was speaking to little kids a lot, but it was good because you learn how to teach simply, and that's what intelligence is, you know.